Morning guys, welcome back to Mac Farms. It is day 5 of corn harvest. I don't know what I said yesterday. I think I said it was day 3 or 4 or something like that. Whatever, I missed one of the days. I don't know if I explained that or not, I have no idea. But anyway, either way, it's day 5 now. So we're on the last field. I just woke up the silo there. 10 minutes ago we got about a block and a half underneath the unloader. So we figure we can fit about 2 loads. So we're hoping the dry section of this field, we're hoping there's about 2 loads left on it, so it'll work out pretty good. There's another greener section that we plan with the plastic that's probably a week, maybe even 2 weeks behind this stuff. So if we have to, well, we will have to, we'll have to leave it for the silage to settle a bit in the silo. We're going to start feeding out of it anyway right away, so we can start using some and make some more room. And yeah, then in a couple weeks time we'll come and get the rest of this piece here. Should only be a couple loads, I think, of the stuff that was planted without the plastic. But anyway, Dad's coming here right now with the 1915, just about to come around the corner there behind me, and we'll get ready and start chopping these 2 loads, maybe 3. But anyway, let's get going. So we never had too much more trouble out of that one row on the header clogging up. It was just the very start there, it was clogged up, and once we cleaned it out, we never had any more trouble with it. It's been alright since, so everything's been working pretty good. There's actually, this is a 4-row header, as you guys know, and it's like the interchangeable base setup. The original setup, they used the auger base that went on the auger that went on the harvester, and then you'd either put the hiccup head on it for the hay on the auger, or the corn finger part. And they say like the purpose-built heads are kind of better. So our hay head that we run, we take the corn head off, which is the auger base and the corn part together. We take that off and we put the 340W hay pickup on, which is a little bit newer setup. It's made for the FX harvesters, and that's supposed to be a better setup. We have never used the actual hay pickup made for that auger base because we don't have it, so I couldn't say personally one way or the other which is better, but the purpose-built 340W is supposed to be better. And the same with the corn heads. I think that's like a 360 series corn head that was made for the FX that will fit on these. It's supposed to be better, better corn head. We don't have one of those. There's actually one for sale at a dealer. Not far from here, 4 hours from here. It's a 6-row 360 series head. Love to have it, but they want like 20 grand for it, and that's about, I don't know, 15 grand more than we'd pay. So it'd be nice to have it, but it's just way too much money. And yeah, it would work pretty good. 6-row would be kind of ideal. 4-row isn't working it too hard. I mean, we could go a lot faster, but Dad doesn't like to travel too fast with it, I guess. But the 6-row would be nice because you could go slow and get more material through the harvester. Well, of course, I say we had no more trouble with it, and there's Dad flattening a bunch of corn. Some of it is due to the fact that we're using a 2-row planter and a 4-row head, and if it's not just, you know, just right, you kind of run into a little bit of trouble having issues with the pickup grabbing the corn. But that's another thing. We used to have a 4-row planter, but we just don't have access to that, and I don't know, it's a lot of money to buy one. So yeah, anyway, it is what it is. I guess you're gonna lose a little bit of corn. You can't have everything perfect. I guess the ideal thing if you're picking up would be one of those Kemper heads, like the row independent. Like if you guys, I assume most of you watch Mike P 7810 here on YouTube, great channel. They run, I think it's an FP 240, it might be a 230, but I think it's a 240, and they got a Dion Kemper style row independent head on that. And yeah, it just doesn't matter where the rows are or anything, you just cut it wherever. So that would be a pretty sick setup, but it's hard to find those. Those got real popular around here last year after Hurricane Dorian came through, and we had a lot of down corn all across the province, and guys are bringing in a lot of those Kemper heads and buying them and whatnot. So they're pretty hard to find. I assume that's, I could be wrong, but I assume that's how that dealership ended up with that 6-row head, the 6-row corn head they got. I wonder if someone didn't trade it in and buy a Kemper style or something like that. But anyway, we'll work with what we got, I guess. Unless someone donates a 6-row head to the channel or a Kemper head, we'll keep rocking the old school setup. So there's Dad coming up here now. This is kind of where we split it. The corn on this side is the greener stuff, and the corn on this side is the drier stuff. And you know, this stuff may not even be too dry to chop now, but this stuff is going to get a little bit on the drier side. The first field we cut was pretty dry. I think we tested it around, I want to say 55–60% or something like that. So it's a little bit on the dry side. It'd certainly be dry going into a bunk, but going into the silo it's not so bad. You don't want wet silage in your silo. That's a pain in the ass. But I'm not sure if it shows up on camera at all how much greener that stuff is than that stuff. But it certainly is greener. So here's a cob from that greener section, and you guys can kind of see, maybe not. Not sure if it shows up on camera or not, but there is some milk or some juice still in these kernels. So the other stuff isn't quite like that. It's not quite as wet. It'd be kind of neat, you know, if you had a combine or whatever, or even just like a combine head for the harvester, to get into doing some high moisture corn or some earlage or snaplage or whatever, just to try that. But I mean, you still need the storage space too, so you almost want like a bagger or something like that. Like, we don't got the room in the silos to do it, and you don't really want to make a pile. But I don't know, can't see that happening. Just something maybe fun to try, that's all. When you get you know, your silos near full and you start seeing extra corn that you don't really have room for, you wonder what you could do with it. I think probably one thing we could have did that someone will probably mention, I don't know, but we could have cut the corn off a little higher up than we did. That would have like, it's only stock, you know, so you wouldn't really been losing too much, and it would have been, well, it would have been a little bit drier too, I guess, because I think most of the moisture now is near the bottom anyway. But this wagon should be getting near full, and I hear my uncle coming with the empty wagon, so yeah, we'll keep on keeping on here until the silo's full. I have to go up the silo in a little bit here, I guess. So I'll probably have enough room for the one load, and then I'll go up and check things out, I guess. So just making the last pass here on the dryer of the corn. So wagon's pretty full at the front there. He just picked up like 2 rows at a time instead of 4 in another section, and it's pretty hard to get a good enough flow of silage coming from the blower on the thing. I guess it just fills up the front of the wagon, but anyway, I think he'll get her on. And that'll be it for today. We'll get these 2 loads in the silo, switch the unloader over to feed for feeding out, and we'll be feeding corn here tonight. And I guess it's time for me to head home and head back up the silo, make sure it's not getting too full. How fun? Not. Not gonna take much more, I don't think. Well, she's full. Just gotta switch it over to feed now and set it up and everything. Well guys, hope you enjoyed the video. That'll be it for corn silage for at least a couple of weeks, I guess. We have that little bit left to put in, probably only about, I don't know, 2 loads maybe or so, but it's just so green. So we're going to feed it to the silo until then, and then just change it back over to fill again. It's not that big of a deal, but it is a little bit pain in the ass. But I mean, now we know how it works out with the plastic and without the plastic too. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment down below, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and ring that little bell. See you in the next one, guys.